Well, hi everybody. It's Kevin, Arizona Squatch. Today is Tuesday, July 24th, 2018, and this is just a follow-up video to one I made out at Squatch Camp um, on July 17th, so it's a week ago today. Had the most amazing interaction with the forest people that I have had to date. So this is going to be the best interaction with the forest people, part 2. Or best interaction with the forest people to date, part 2. So in the first video, I was on site. It was the day after the interaction. And I had left Squatch Camp a lot earlier than I was planning on. As you can see in the video, vehicles were coming in. Well, apparently what seems to be going on is, after talking with the Forest Service, those are contractors going in there, and there was a total of, I think it was 12 vehicles that went in. And what they're doing, and I noticed this later that afternoon while I was out walking around, is they are marking the trees. Last year I noticed that they had marked the perimeters of the forest for tree removal. They're thinning the forest. They're not doing a clear cut, but they are going to be thinning the forest due to extreme fire risks and overgrowth. We have to be in control of everything, including what trees are allowed to grow and what trees aren't, for the sake of humanity and safety. And I get it, but whatever. So I had left Squatch Camp the following day, not because I was being chased out of there because there's too many people. It's just I had my little mint pin with me, and she's a needy little girl, and so I was really limited in what I could do out there. So anyway, getting back to the purpose of this video, part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, stop now, watch part 1. But in part 1, I talk about how I got woke up, was flipped onto my back, etc., 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 and that I was going to dig deeper into the audio once I got home, and I did this, and I am completely amazed at what I have captured on this audio. So I'm going to give a quick rundown, and then I'll go into it step by step. For recap, what had happened is around 1:15 in the morning, I was woke out of a dead sleep by being rolled over onto my back and slid to the side of the tent. I was incapable of moving. I was incapable of talking. I was trying to talk. I know what I wanted to say, but I couldn't get words to come out. And this went on for a little bit. Once I was finally able to start moving around, that's when I was able to look at my watch to see, get a time check, and it was 1:15 in the morning. So I had a base point to where I needed to look in the audio to see if any of this, if not all of it, got captured. And as I stated in previous video, I got a lot of stuff on there, and a lot more than what I initially thought I had. If you go to SoundCloud, I opened up an account on there, Kevin Kehne, Kehne, and you can listen to this 1 hour and 2 minute audio that I recorded. I've put a second audio on there, which was recorded at Squatch Camp March 30th of this year, with the Squatch saying "Hick too soon." But back to this point. So as I was able to move, looked at my watch, got the timestamp 1:15, and was finally able to get audible words to come out of my mouth. And the first thing that I had asked, and we're going to kind of timestamp this. Sorry. Yeah, as far as on the audio that I downloaded, at 41 minutes 59 seconds, you can hear me ask, "Who is that over me?" A few seconds later, I get the response of "click." At 42 minutes and 7 seconds, I ask, "Are you there?" At 42 minutes and 11 seconds, I get the response back, "click." At 45 minutes and 6 seconds, I ask, "Are you out there?" And from a different area, I get "click, click." At 45 minutes and 26 seconds, I ask, "Are you there, my brother?" And then from a little farther away, I get a click. And I'll stop right there. When I'm talking to them and I am referring to my brother, it is an individual that I call Indy, because I cannot pronounce his name. It's close to that. So moving forward, at 46 minutes and 18 seconds, I tell them, "Thank you." And I get a really loud click at 46 minutes and 56 seconds. At 47 minutes and 2 seconds, I tell them I can feel that because I'm getting zapped. 3 seconds later, I tell them, "Thank you." And then another 3 seconds pass, and I ask, "Are you happy that I'm back?" In response, at 47 minutes and 18 seconds, it's click. Then I ask them, "Do you click? You know who I am." At 47 minutes and 32 seconds, I get click from a little further away. And at 48 minutes and 7 seconds, in a whisper, you can hear "hikta." But it's a real quiet whisper, but it's there. Now, some of the other stuff that I picked up on there, and I'm trying to see if I wrote that down on here or not, so I can tell you where to look into it. No, I don't have it written down on this piece of paper. It's oh wait, no, I do have it written down right here. 4 hours and 9 minutes into the recording when all this first started on the original audio, which is like 10 hours long. Let's see if I can do some math for you here. So it's going to be almost 10 minutes before I ask, "Who's that over me?" So if you want to search in the audio for that, that's about where to look. There's a lot of clicking going on, multiple individuals in and around my tent, making click sounds, footsteps, You can hear talking, but one of the most audible that I was able to pick up in there is what it sounds like working on Kevin. And it sounds like a female voice, so it's working on Kevin. So the audio file is on SoundCloud. Go ahead, go on there, listen to it, tell me what you think. But so now we'll get a little more detailed into everything that was going on, and so prior to me being woke up, they were absolutely in a chatterbox mode with clicks and whispers and just go listen to it. At the time of me being woke up by being rolled onto my back and slid to the side of the tent, I was wide awake, folks. I was wide awake. Have somebody flip you over and slide you sideways in your tent. You're wide awake. This isn't La La Land. This isn't I'm half asleep. No, I am wide awake and very alert of everything that's going on. And, I was a little concerned, but I wasn't scared. The fact that, when you wake up and you absolutely cannot move a muscle and you cannot get any words out, and, a few minutes goes by, and then you can start finally hearing me, I'm trying to get words out, and I'm forcibly trying to do this. While this is going on, I'm seeing kind of like implanted into my brain, my entire family up there. And it was, our whole family is here. Where is your family? Bring your family up here. We want to see them again. This is what I was getting in my head. And, so I'm trying to talk, but I am thinking in my mind, Indy, why are you doing this? What's going on? What are you doing? And it was just relax. Everything is okay. And so I relaxed for a little bit, and then I was trying to get words out again, and I couldn't. And I struggled with that for several minutes, as you will hear on the audio if you go to SoundCloud and listen to it. Once I can finally move and talk, at one point I take, because I'm laying on my back, my left side is up against the tent, and I take my left hand and I place it up against the side of the tent. And I was really, really expecting to feel somebody push back on the tent. Didn't happen. What I got instead in my head was, don't do that, put your hand down. And so I put my hand down. And this was incredible. Here's another amazing aspect to this. My little dog that you see in the first video is a min pin, and anybody who knows anything about min pins know that they alert at everything. They hear a pin drop. What was that? Who's that? Who's that? What's going on? I so much as talk, and she perks her head up, one of the big things that I play around with her is I'm like, who's that? And she gets all excited and thinks somebody's here, and it's a game we play. All I have to do is say, who? And she gets like that. I could be in the middle of a conversation and use the word who, and she jumps up and looking around and wanting to know who's there. At no time during this did that little girl budge, move, lift her head, wiggle her tail, perk her ears, anything. She was out cold. That's not her. The moment I asked, who's that over me, she should have been up barking. Or even the clicking that was going on prior to me being woke up, or me being moved and rolled over onto my back. Everything about that little dog should have been going absolutely batshit crazy. She's dead to the world, out cold. So I have no doubt in my mind that whatever they were doing to me, they kept her asleep. Here we go into the realm of supernatural abilities, manipulating quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Anybody who's out experiencing these, who are honest with themselves and with everybody else, will tell you that unexplainable things happen. If they don't, it's intellectual dishonesty is what it is. So carrying forward, I've talked about a lot of issues I have, both mental and physical, resulting from Desert Storm, chemical exposure to sarin nerve gas, mustard gas, chlorine gas for the simple. The neurological disorder that I suffer from is identical to multiple sclerosis. I have been through extensive neurological testing and exams through the Department of Veterans Affairs, trustworthy source. And I am currently in the process of trying to get, I got glare on my glasses, I'm going to try and adjust this a little bit. But I'm trying to get outpatient care through Barrows Neurological Institute in Phoenix, Arizona, which is basically where I live, to try and get to the root problem of this neurological issue that I have. So basically, the insulation on the wiring of my body is decaying and falling apart, and things don't work right all the time, and I'll get real weak in the legs, can't walk, can't start shaking when I'm trying to feed myself, train of thought, just a whole slew of the neurological issues. I can't feel anything basically from my feet up to about right here. I can feel that, but if I take something that's got a sharp point, this I cannot feel. I can run that into my arm, I won't feel it. I can run it into my chest, doesn't matter. So I have some neurological issues, and I really haven't been having a whole lot of issue with it lately. Yesterday, I had a really bad attack. Well, let me back up. Today's Tuesday. Sunday, I had a really bad attack of it, and I had difficulty walking. When that happens, it usually goes on for weeks on end. This particular time, it only happened for one day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the forest people were working on my neurological system. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk. Attacks that normally last weeks, this time only lasted a day. You know, coincidence? I don't think so. I think, well, I don't think. I know that they're working on it. Are they going to be able to fix it? I don't know. Are they going to be able to fix any of the 30 different medical unexplained issues that I have from Desert Storm? I don't know. I hope they can, and I hope they do. But it's mind-boggling. No, it's not mind-boggling. That's the wrong phrase, wrong wording. It's paradigm shifting, way of life changing. When they step into your life. Let's say it once again. You know, go out, bang on trees, you might get a bang back. Go out doing yells, you might get a yell come back. You want this one-on-one or group-on-one, as this last one, type of interaction with them. Try this. Try walking out into the forest, stating your intention, that I'm here to get to know who you are. I'm here to, to learn from you. They'll know whether you're basically full of shit or not. But if you're pure in spirit, pure in heart, and they're going to pick up on that, and they will interact with you. I do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again when I'm out there, to the point where it's monotonous. No lights, no campfire, no lantern, no flashlight. If I have to turn a light on, it's a red light, and it's only momentarily. But I'm so used to doing this now that I have no reason to turn a light on. I know what I'm doing in the dark. I don't set up cameras. Night vision, thermal, trail cameras. It's a lot of people have the need for that, and fine, more power to you. You might get lucky and catch a glimpse, and if that's all you're looking for, awesome, and I wish you the best in your endeavors. But if you are looking to have interactions on a continuous basis, change up what you're doing. Habituation. It's just a way of changing up things. People have been out banging on trees and running trail cameras and video recorders and night vision and thermal, and you're beating a dead horse. Say it again. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, maybe this time I'll get it. Maybe this time. Oh, I just want to know what's out there. Once you get to a certain point and you're out there with them, you have no doubt in your mind who and what you're dealing with. You know, my wife at one point, aren't you afraid of bears or anything like that? No, not at all. Are there bears out there? Oh yeah. Are there cougars out there? Oh yeah. You know, are there wolves out there? Oh yeah. You know, I had a conversation with a beautiful gray wolf that was about 30 yards away from me. Uh, just another dog walking through the forest. But you know, when you're having interactions with forest people, and you know, there's no. I'm just going to say it. I'm protected by them when I'm out there. They look out for me. They watch me. They make sure no harm comes my direction. And the only thing I'm afraid of, well, let me back that up because I'm literally not afraid of anything. Um, the only concerns I have out there are stupid humans with guns. Um, I'm not an anti-gunner. I am a big supporter of the Second Amendment and the Constitution of the United States. And, you know, so we'll just leave it at that. But there are stupid people. Here in Arizona, the other issue we have is the drug cartels having marijuana grows out in the middle of the forest. And it's not just here in Arizona, it's all over the place. One was torn down probably 3 miles as the crow flies from Squatch Camp, 4 miles maybe, at a lower elevation. You know, so there are bad people walking around out in the forest, and there are dangerous animals out in the forest, and there are dangerous things everywhere. You know, how safe is it for you to drive down the freeway during rush hour? You know, so no, I have no fear whatsoever of being alone out in the forest for long periods of time. I have absolutely no fear of it. I've been doing this my entire life. I've had bad things happen. Um, that's because of my own stupidity, doing things I know I shouldn't be doing and getting into situations that I know better, but curiosity gets the cat, and I just got to keep going. Um, you know, so with age, a lot of that has changed. You know, age comes wisdom, so they say. But as far as back to Squatch Camp, I'm going to try and get back up there. I'm waiting for the weather to settle down. We're having you know, some pretty intensive thunderstorms up there in the afternoons. And right now, as we speak, today, July 24th, we're supposed to top out somewhere around 118, 119 degrees down here in the lower desert today. So I would love nothing more than to be up there. Um, but with lightning and high winds and just being in a tent, it's not the smartest thing to do, being out there by myself in those kind of conditions. Not that I'm afraid of it, because I've done it many times. Um, just once again, that with age comes wisdom. So as soon as weather calms down, I'll be back out there, unless they're cutting the trees down. The Forest Service employee that I spoke to said the sale of the trees hasn't gone through yet, but the moment it does, they're in there cutting. Um, you know, breaks my heart. It could use a little thinning, you know, be a lot easier to see, but at the same time, I prefer the natural world, the natural beauty of things. You know, let the forest grow and do what the forest does, and you know, God will take care of the rest. But, so hopefully I can get back into Squatch Camp without all the logging going on in there. If that is the case, I will be back out at my secondary site. Um, which in itself is a phenomenal area. Um, so we'll see where I end up. I'm expecting probably within about the next week and a half to be back out, if that long. But once again, like I said, monsoon season, safety first, safety first, safety first. Okay, so I've rambled on enough, so we're going to let this go, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out.